The national animal of Brunei, the white-bellied sea eagle, Haliaeetus Leucogaster. In the pristine waters and lush coastal forests of Brunei Darussalam, a magnificent bird soars through the skies, embodying the spirit and natural heritage of this small Southeast Asian nation. The white-bellied sea eagle, Haliaeetus Leucogaster, designated as Brunei's national animal, represents not only the country's commitment to wildlife conservation, but also serves as a powerful symbol of freedom, strength, and the interconnectedness of land and sea that defines this island nation. Physical characteristics and identification. The white-bellied sea eagle stands as one of the most impressive raptors in Southeast Asia, commanding attention with its striking appearance and substantial size. Adult birds typically measure between 70 to 84 centimeters in length, with an impressive wingspan that can reach up to 2.2 meters, making them among the largest eagles in their range. Sexual dimorphism is evident in the species, with females generally larger and heavier than males, weigh between 2.5 to 3.7 kilograms, while males typically range from 1.8 to 3.0 kilograms. The eagle's most distinctive feature is its contrasting plumage, which gives the species its common name. Adult white-bellied sea eagles display a brilliant white head, breast, and belly, creating a stark and beautiful contrast with their gray-brown wings and back. The tail is also white with a distinctive black terminal band, particularly visible during flight. Their powerful legs are bright yellow, equipped with formidable talons adapted for grasping slippery fish and other aquatic prey. Juvenile white-bellied sea eagles present a markedly different appearance, sporting predominantly brown plumage with varying degrees of white mottling. This juvenile plumage can persist for up to 5 years before the birds achieve their full adult coloration, making identification of younger individuals more challenging for casual observers. The eagle's head is adorned with powerful hooked beak that is pale yellow to horn-colored, perfectly adapted for tearing flesh from their prey. Their eyes are dark brown to almost black, providing excellent vision that is essential for spotting prey from great distances while soaring high above coastal waters. Habitat and distribution. The white-bellied sea eagle's presence in Brunei reflects the country's diverse coastal and marine ecosystems. These magnificent birds are typically found in environments where land meets water, making Brunei's extensive coastline, mangrove forests, and river systems ideal habitat. They prefer areas with large bodies of water, including coastal regions, estuaries, large rivers, and offshore islands where fish populations are abundant. In Brunei, white-bellied sea eagles can be observed along the South China Sea coastline, in the mangrove-lined rivers that penetrate deep into the interior, and around the numerous small islands that the coastal waters. The country's well-preserved mangrove ecosystems provide crucial nesting sites and hunting grounds for these impressive raptors. The species has a broad distribution across the Indo-Pacific region, ranging from India and southern China through Southeast Asia to Australia and the Western Pacific Islands. This wide distribution demonstrates the adaptability of the species to various coastal environments, though they consistently require access to fish-rich waters and suitable nesting trees. Within their range, white-bellied sea eagles are generally non-migratory, though they may move seasonally in response to food availability or weather patterns. Young birds often disperse considerable distances from their natal territories as they seek to establish their own breeding areas. Diet and hunting behavior. As apex predators in their marine and coastal ecosystems, white-bellied sea eagles have developed sophisticated hunting techniques that make them highly efficient predators. Their diet consists primarily of fish, which typically comprises 50 to 60% of their food intake, but they are opportunistic hunters that will take advantage of various prey species depending on availability and season. The eagle's fishing technique is a spectacular display of precision and power. They typically hunt by soaring at heights of 20 to 50 meters above the water surface, using their exceptional eyesight to spot fish swimming near the surface. When prey is identified, the eagle performs a dramatic dive, extending its powerful talons forward to snatch fish directly from the water's surface. Unlike some other fish eagles, white-bellied sea eagles rarely fully immerse themselves in water, preferring to grab their prey in swift, surface-skimming attacks. Beyond fish, these versatile predators consume a varied diet that includes water birds such as ducks, coots, and even smaller seabirds. They are known to take reptiles, including water snakes and small monitor lizards, and occasionally mammals such as flying foxes and small monkeys. In coastal areas, they may also feed on crustaceans and other marine invertebrates. White-bellied sea eagles are also accomplished kleptoparasites, meaning they will steal food from other birds. They've been observed harassing other raptors, cormorants, and even pelicans to force them to drop or regurgitate their catches. This behavior demonstrates their intelligence and adaptability in securing food resources. Their hunting success rate is remarkably high, with studies suggesting they successfully capture prey in approximately 70 to 80% of their hunting attempts. This efficiency is crucial for supporting their large body size and the energy demands of raising young. Breeding and life cycle. The breeding behavior of white-bellied sea eagles reflects their status as one of nature's most devoted partners. These birds typically form monogamous pair bonds that can last for life, with pairs returning to the same nesting territory year after year. The breeding season in Brunei and other equatorial regions can extend throughout much of the year, though there's often a peak period that coincides with optimal weather conditions and fish availability. Courtship displays are elaborate aerial performances that showcase the bird's flying abilities and strengthen pair bonds. Males and females engage in spectacular flight displays that include high-altitude soaring, dramatic dives, and synchronized flying patterns. One of the most remarkable courtship behaviors is the cartwheel display, where the pair lock talons and cartwheel through the air together, demonstrating trust and coordination. Nest construction is a collaborative effort that can take several weeks to complete. White-bellied sea eagles build enormous stick nests, typically placed in the crown of tall trees near water bodies. These nests can measure up to 1.8 meters in diameter and 1 meter in depth, representing some of the largest bird nests in Southeast Asia. The birds continually add to their nests over years of use, with some nests becoming truly massive structures that can weigh several hundred kilograms. The female typically lays 1 to 3 eggs, though clutches of 2 eggs are most common. The eggs are white with brown speckles and measure approximately 73 by 57 millimeters. Both parent participate in incubation, which lasts about 42 to 45 days. During this period, the adults take turns sitting on the eggs while the other hunts and guards the territory. Chick rearing is an intensive process that demonstrates the strong parental investment characteristic of the species. Young eagles are covered in white down when they hatch and are completely dependent on their parents for food and protection. The adults work tirelessly to provide sufficient fish and other prey to support the rapid growth of their offspring. Fledging occurs at approximately 10 to 12 weeks of age, but young eagles remain dependent on their parents for several months after leaving the nest. During this period, they learn crucial hunting and survival skills through observation and practice. Parent birds gradually reduce their feeding assistance, encouraging the young to develop independence. Ecological significance. The white-bellied sea eagle's role as Brunei's national animal extends far beyond symbolic importance. These birds serve as crucial indicators of ecosystem health and play vital ecological roles in their marine and coastal environments. As apex predators, they help maintain balance in fish populations and contribute to the overall health of aquatic ecosystems. Their presence indicates the health of marine and coastal environments, as eagles require clean water with abundant fish populations to thrive. Pollution, overfishing, and habitat destruction directly impact eagle populations, making them excellent environmental indicators. The continued presence of breeding white-bellied sea eagles in Brunei's waters suggests that the country's marine ecosystems remain relatively healthy and well-managed. The species also plays an important role in nutrient cycling between marine and terrestrial environments. By capturing fish and other marine prey and consuming them on land or in trees, eagles transfer marine-derived nutrients to terrestrial ecosystems, supporting the growth of coastal vegetation and contributing to the productivity of mangrove and coastal forest ecosystems. Additionally, white-bellied sea eagles serve as seed dispersers for certain plant species, particularly figs and other fruits they occasionally consume. Their large size and wide-ranging movements make them effective long-distance seed dispersers, contributing to genetic connectivity among plant populations across their territory. Conservation status and challenges. While the white-bellied sea eagle is currently classified as least concern by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, this status reflects the species' relatively wide distribution rather than abundance throughout its range. In many areas, including parts of Southeast Asia, populations have declined significantly due to human activities and environmental changes. In Brunei, the species faces several conservation challenges despite the country's commitment to environmental protection. Coastal development, while carefully managed, can result in the loss of suitable nesting trees and disturbance to breeding pairs. The increasing boat traffic in coastal waters may also impact hunting efficiency and cause disturbance to roosting and nesting sites. Pollution represents another significant threat, particularly plastic pollution in marine environments and chemical contamination from industrial activities. Fish populations that form the eagle's primary food source can be impacted by overfishing, pollution, and climate change effects on marine ecosystems. Historical persecution has also affected populations throughout the species' range. In some areas, eagles have been shot due to perceived threats to domestic animals or fish farms, though education efforts have helped reduce such conflicts. Climate change presents emerging challenges for white-bellied sea eagle populations. Rising sea levels may impact coastal nesting sites, while changing weather patterns could affect fish populations and breeding success. More frequent and severe storms may also damage nests and disrupt breeding cycles. Cultural significance in Brunei. The selection of the white-bellied sea eagle as Brunei's national animal reflects deep cultural values and the country's identity as a maritime nation. In Malay culture, eagles are traditionally associated with power, freedom, and connection to the divine. The white and gray coloration of the white-bellied sea eagle also holds cultural significance, representing purity, strength, and the balance between earthly and spiritual realms. The eagle's association with both land and sea makes it particularly appropriate as a symbol for Brunei, a nation whose economy and culture have historically been closely tied to both marine resources and the tropical rainforests of Borneo. The bird embodies the country's position at the intersection of different ecosystems and its role as a guardian of both terrestrial and marine biodiversity. In traditional folklore throughout Southeast Asia, sea eagles are often portrayed as messengers between the human and spiritual worlds, carrying prayers and wishes across the vast expanses of ocean and sky. This spiritual significance adds depth to the eagle's role as a national symbol, representing not just environmental stewardship, but also cultural continuity and spiritual connection to the natural world. Conservation efforts and protection measures. Brunei has implemented comprehensive conservation measures to protect the white-bellied sea eagle and its habitat. The country's extensive system of protected areas includes marine parks, forest reserves, and wildlife sanctuaries that provide crucial habitat for eagles and their prey species. Ulu Tembrong National Park, though primarily focused on rainforest conservation, protects watersheds that flow into eagle habitat areas. The government has also established strict regulations regarding coastal development and marine activities to minimize disturbance to eagle populations. Environmental impact assessments are required for all major coastal developments, with particular attention paid to potential impacts on eagle nesting and foraging areas. Education and awareness programs play a crucial role in eagle conservation efforts. School programs teach young Bruneians about their national animal and its ecological importance, fostering a conservation ethic that will support long-term protection efforts. Public awareness campaigns highlight the connection between healthy marine ecosystems and eagle populations, encouraging sustainable fishing practices and reduce pollution. Research and monitoring programs track eagle populations and breeding success, providing valuable data for conservation planning. Nest monitoring helps identify successful breeding sites that require special protection, while population surveys track trends over time. International cooperation is also important for eagle conservation, as the species-wide distribution requires coordinated efforts across multiple countries. Brunei participates in regional wildlife conservation initiatives and supports research programs that benefit the species throughout its range. Future outlook and recommendations. The future of the white-bellied sea eagle in Brunei depends on continued commitment to environmental protection and sustainable development practices. Climate change adaptation will become increasingly important as rising sea levels and changing weather patterns impact coastal ecosystems. Expanding marine protected areas could provide additional foraging habitat for eagles while supporting overall marine biodiversity conservation. Establishing wildlife corridors that connect coastal and inland habitats would support eagle movements and provide alternative nesting sites as coastal areas face development pressure. Enhanced monitoring programs using modern technology, such as satellite tracking and remote cameras, could provide more detailed information about eagle behavior, habitat use, and population trends. This information would support more targeted conservation efforts and help identify emerging threats before they become critical. Community engagement will be essential for long-term conservation success. Programs that involve local communities in eagle monitoring and habitat protection can build support for conservation efforts while providing economic benefits through ecotourism and research activities. Conclusion: the white-bellied sea eagle's designation as Brunei's national animal represents more than symbolic recognition. It embodies a country's commitment to preserving its natural heritage and maintaining the delicate balance between development and conservation. These magnificent birds serve as ambassadors for Brunei's marine and coastal ecosystems, reminding us of the intricate connections between land and sea that sustain life in this tropical paradise. As climate change and human activities continue to challenge wildlife populations worldwide, the protection of species like the white-bellied sea eagle becomes increasingly critical. Their presence in Brunei's skies represents hope for the future of Southeast Asian biodiversity and demonstrates that with proper stewardship, humans and wildlife can coexist sustainably. The soaring flight of the white-bellied sea eagle over Brunei's coastal waters continues to inspire wonder and respect, serving as a living symbol of the country's natural wealth and cultural values. Through continued conservation efforts and public education, future generations of Bruneians will be able to witness these magnificent birds fishing in crystal-clear waters and nesting in ancient trees, carrying forward the legacy of environmental stewardship that defines this remarkable nation. The story of the white-bellied sea eagle in Brunei is ultimately a story of hope, demonstrating that dedicated conservation efforts can protect even large, wide-ranging species in an increasingly crowded world. As Brunei moves forward into the future, the sight of these majestic birds soaring free over protected waters will continue to remind its people of their responsibility as guardians of one of Southeast Asia's most precious natural treasures.